Hello, from AI to robotics, very soon Pittsburgh will be the epicenter of all things tech. The Explore Pittsburgh Tech Week Unconference takes over in November. The founder, organizer, and one of the key participants are here to share how Pittsburgh is a tech town. And a concert to celebrate the heroes among us. The leader of Resonance Works is here to share details about the upcoming project from their octet with newly composed pieces. Plus, the new Pittsburgh Walk of Fame is preparing for its inaugural induction ceremony. We'll talk to the woman behind the effort to celebrate some of the greatest people to call Pittsburgh home. So pull up a chair and meet us at the corner. Intersection starts right now. I'm Lisa Smith, the Director of Community Impact at KDKA Plus and the host of Intersections. Whether you realize it or not, you use technology and artificial intelligence every day on computers, cell phones, and streaming your favorite show. And it's an evolving industry that heavily involves Pittsburgh. So for the second year in a row, Pittsburgh will host Explore Pittsburgh Tech Week from November 3rd through the 8th. And here to share more details about the planning for this year are Kenya Porter. She is the founder and organizer of Explore Pittsburgh Tech Week, Fantasy Zellers, co-organizer of the event, as well as Justin A. Leo, who is the Associate Vice President for Penn State Outreach. Thank you all so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So Kenya, let's just kind of start with you. This is like your baby, your idea. Kind of where did this come from for you?
For me, it is, being a Black woman in tech, I realized that I grew up in the city of bridges, and that meaning of connection, right? We have all of these bridges across our wonderful city connecting us to different areas, different socioeconomic backgrounds, experiences, et cetera. And so with Pittsburgh being at the epicenter of the steel industry, we are now facing a new epicenter of technology here in the city of Pittsburgh. And so the reason being behind Pittsburgh Tech Week is to ensure equitable access for all. Let's make sure that we are convening important conversations around technology, but also including small voices as well too, small businesses, nonprofits, making sure that we're providing the tools and the resources to people in the community across the board, from politicians to small business owners, nonprofit leaders, students, educators, universities, et cetera. They all have a seat at the table. Yeah. And that is the reason why Pittsburgh Tech Week is so important and why I thought it was important for the city to have that ecosystem.
Yeah. So the theme this year is workforce readiness in the age of AI and automation. Where do we stand right now here in Pittsburgh when it does come when we're talking about workforce readiness and technology?
So that tagline actually is a part of the Global Impact Forum this year of Penn State University. And so we all recognize the changes that AI is having not only on our economy, but even socially. Mm-hmm. And so where do you stand? Where is your power within this changing workforce that is happening in our ecosystem? And so a lot of people, are fearful of what is to come. Some people are excited. Mm-hmm. And so I think the excitement about Pittsburgh Tech Week is it gives you the opportunity to come to some of these events to hear, so that if you are fearful, you'll have an education to learn and be educated so that you can move from a place of knowledge and not from a place of fear. So I think that, the way that we move forward is together. And that's what Pittsburgh is all about, is togetherness. We're neighbors. We love on one another. And so it's important to have strong partners in that sense, too, which is why we've partnered with the Penn State University and the Global Impact Forum.
All right, so that easy toss to you then, Justin. So tell us about this Global Impact Forum and how it does help prepare people for the tech world.
Yeah, so the Global Impact Forum presented by Penn State, its mission is economic development, social mobility, and positive impact through education and innovation. And this year's theme, like you touched upon, was workforce readiness in the age of AI and automation. Not talking about what AI is, we know what AI is, yes, but how's it impacting the workforce? From the workers to the tech to the industry to everything, policy and so forth. So it's November 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center. And we bring in global national leaders to the conversation, from the Gates Foundation, Ford Foundation, big tech, big industry, community partners into the event. It's for educators, industry leaders, community leaders, government, investors, but we also bring youth into conversation, which is very important. That's why the partnership with Explore Tech Week is so important. On Monday, we bring in 100 university students in to talk about their projects of impact. On Tuesday, we bring high school students in with Explore Tech Week, because it's not just one thing to talk about it, it's to show national and global leaders the youth and talent in this region so they can invest and grow in this region.
Yes.
Yeah. So that kind of takes me to you, Fantasy, because there's an experience involved here. So what is that experience that you want people to have when they come to these various events that are happening during the week?
Yeah, well, I think piggybacking on what Justin and Kenya are talking about, this is a way for us to show off what's going on in Pittsburgh in this tech ecosystem that is growing and changing on a day-to-day basis, right? So this is a chance for different organizations, companies, individuals to create their own events and to put them onto this Tech Week calendar. So when we're talking about the on-conference model, it's really about that. It's about, different companies and organizations producing their own events that go into this week. So there's various things that you can do. You can look at this calendar and move around the city and see whether it's workshops, panels, discussions, even tours of some of the spaces to see what they have going on and to have hands-on and interaction and get a little bit more knowledge about what is actually happening in this tech scene here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and you're looking for additional,
That's right.
companies or organizations to add to your list that you have already.
That's right. So we, right now, our anchor events, I would say, are the Global Impact Forum and Pittsburgh Robotics Network Discovery Day, which is on the Wednesday, November 5th, taking place also at the Convention Center. And then we are actively soliciting and looking for others that want to create events, create experiences to go into the November 3rd to November 8th timeline.
Yeah.
And that can be anything from, like I was saying, maybe it's a business thing, but it also could be a social, right? So, let's not forget that people want to get together and get to know each other. So maybe someone wants to produce a networking event or a cocktail hour or something like that to go onto the calendar. So we're really open to all types of events that highlight how tech is being used in your life.
Okay, and then so can you tell us a little bit about the robotics piece that you guys are sponsoring?
And the partnership with Pittsburgh Robotics. So in my role with my employer, I partner with a lot of organizations throughout the region, actually, to provide exposure to students and beyond. And so, we do things like entry-level coding, have robotics days, to just provide that exposure to children. So I think that the connection with Pittsburgh Robotics is paramount, because their focus is not children, right? Their focus is on the robotic network of Pittsburgh and the businesses, the corporations. While my focus is on the next generation of future leaders, we still have to connect. Just like this show, right? We're talking about the intersections. And so I think Pittsburgh Tech Week really likes to focus on those intersections and expose them to provide additional opportunity.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a very, enlightening week of events, and we have some information on our screen to let everyone know that this is happening November 3rd through the 8th, various locations, and then they can also go to techweekpittsburgh.com for more information. Thank you all so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
And coming up, honoring the heroes, how an upcoming concert spotlights those who volunteer to help others. Intersections, we'll be right back. Well, music will fill the air this month as Resonance Works kicks off its 2025-26 season. And first up will be several concerts dedicated to local community organizations that are unsung heroes who make a difference in Pittsburgh every day. Joining us now is Maria Cincy-Sellner. She is the Artistic and General Director for Resonance Works, as well as Sophia Duck. She is the Training and Engagement Manager for the Mentoring Partnership of Southwestern PA. Thank you both so much for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So, Maria, first of all, it sounds like a really great kickoff, right? So tell me a little bit about, how you're starting this year, and you're bringing back the octet.
Yes.
And so kind of how all of this came about in terms of kicking things off this year.
Absolutely. Well, we were here a year ago
Yeah.
to talk to you about the launch of our Resonate Vocal Octet, which is 8 wonderful professional singers in Pittsburgh who we've featured in other kinds of roles and as concert soloists, and we brought them together for one big, dynamic, high-powered ensemble. And we've had some wonderful performances over the last year. And so we're kicking off our 13th season with another program from the Octet, which is entitled Hero Songs. And it's the seed of the program is a song cycle that some collaborators of ours composed that look at different perspectives and qualities of heroism. And we have other pieces that support those various themes throughout the program, so it's one complete musical journey. And we're also happy to have an advocacy project associated with it to highlight different organizations in the region that utilize volunteers to do their good work.
Yeah. So what would that look like for the people who come?
Sure.
In terms of really highlighting these different organizations?
Absolutely. So there are so many organizations in the region, and we've made connections with quite a few. The list is growing. We're going to have information in our program books, and we're going to be highlighting on our digital platforms long after the concerts are over, because I know I actually learned about some of these organizations through this effort, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that isn't aware of the good work of some of these groups. So we're trying to highlight, show a spotlight on this good work, and also inspire people. I think that right now I feel like a lot of people are looking for ways to build community, and here are some ideas. We want to share some ideas about how to do that. Talk about how some of these wonderful organizations use volunteers to do good work in a variety of different circumstances, and maybe you walk out inspired to think about how you might give back.
Yeah. So, Sophia, you're one of the organizations that is collaborating on this. Tell us a little bit about the Mentoring Partnership Southwestern Pennsylvania.
Absolutely, yeah. So the Mentoring Partnership of Southwestern Pennsylvania is an intermediary organization that works with youth serving mentoring programs. So when we think about the word mentoring, we think about mentoring that happens both formally, so you go somewhere, you meet one-on-one with somebody on this time and this day, but then there's also that everyday mentoring, right? So thinking about coaches, teachers, the favorite auntie in the community, thinking about those people who also add value to young people's lives. So our organization helps to support what that healthy relationship looks like, helping young people to feel connected to somebody. We define mentor as a wise and trusted guide. So my role specifically is to help support all of those caring adults in different spaces to feel like they can be that person to guide, but then also to express care, to provide support, and to give young people what they need, and again, in a healthy way that does no more additional harm.
Yeah, yeah. And so, Maria, having groups like Sophia's group, and there's several others, there's going to be some discussion time, right?
Yes. So the concerts themselves are only about an hour and a quarter, each in 3 locations around the city. And for 2 of those locations, on Saturday and Sunday, we will have a pre-concert panel conversation about the power of volunteerism. And Sophia will be with us for both of those panels, and we'll have a different kind of combo of people for each day to have an engaged conversation, to learn about the work that they're doing, and to talk about how people can give back to their community in that way.
Yeah, and you're merging like the music with the community, which is really a different idea, it seems. But tell us a little bit about the music, because are some of these new compositions?
So almost all of the pieces were written in the 21st century.
Okay.
So the song cycle, Hero Songs itself, was written in 2021 for a project that we were involved in during the pandemic. So this is actually the live world premiere of those songs, and which is very exciting. And they have different themes. So the first one is called The Work, and it asks the question, when the call to act is a new one, who will answer? When we carve the marble of tomorrow, who will be revealed? Which I think is just a really interesting thought experiment. And then we talk about the self and identity. The third one is called The Path, and it is a reflection on the quote that we know, the arc of the moral universe bends towards justice. And the fourth one is about the people and places and the heroes that are on our streets, our neighbors every day. And then there's a finale called The Future. In between those pieces, we have works by a really outstanding group of living composers, and these are all very new pieces by Rena Esmail, Melissa Dunphy, Joel Thompson, Damian Jeter, among others, some of the really outstanding voices in new music today. And I have to say, this is a concert that you're going to come to and you're going to find something that you're going to hum later. That's not always the case with new music. Every day I have a new earworm from this repertoire, and I think there will be something. I hope you love all of it, but I think everybody will find something to latch onto.
Yeah, well, it sounds really thought-provoking as well. So we want to show everyone just again the dates and times when this is happening: the 19th of September, the 20th, and the 21st. Different locations, but they can probably go to your website to learn more.
Yes, you can go to our website, and we also have information about the organizations. It's a growing list, but the organizations that are a sampling of things you can look at and think about, and we hope we'll see you next weekend.
All right, sounds great. Thank you both so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. And coming up, we'll hear from the person spearheading the city's newest attraction, Intersections. We'll be right back. Well, they represent some of Pittsburgh's best, and soon they will be immortalized as the inaugural honorees of the Pittsburgh Walk of Fame. They represent all different fields and genres, and once completed, will very likely become a top visitor attraction for the city. Nancy Polinsky-Johnson is the founder and executive director of the Pittsburgh Walk of Fame. Thank you so much for joining us.
Lisa, thank you for having me back. You were so kind to have me the first time, and you said, at that point, we didn't have our honorees selected yet. You said, we'll have you back when you do, and thank you.
Yeah. So I asked you this before, but like, how are you feeling right now? You know, we're a few weeks out before. You know, you're breathing. You're breathing.
I'm so delighted that this is actually happening, and I'm also incredibly nervous about all the work that needs to be done before the big unveiling.
Yeah. So kind of take us through what you really wanted to see when you came up with this plan to have a Walk of Fame here.
I just wanted the world to see how much Pittsburgh has contributed. And we here in Pittsburgh know all the fabulous people that have made major contributions to our country, and in some cases globally. But it's always surprising to me when visitors come and I tell them, oh, yes, so-and-so's from here, and they just have no idea. And I thought, of course they have no idea. We haven't told them.
Yeah.
So you said in your intro, and I hope it does come to pass, that this becomes a top tourist attraction. It's free, it's outside, it's open 24/7, it's totally accessible. Why wouldn't it become a top tourist attraction? Go up Mount Washington and then go take a look at the Walk of Fame.
Go to the Strip District. So you have 10 inductees.
We do.
How difficult was it to narrow it down to 10?
Well, the public helped. I mean, first, the nominations came in from the public. And well, actually, that wasn't the point at which it got narrowed down, because there were thousands of names that came in, but the selection committee helped. We had a 150-member selection committee, and it was just through their voting that we were able to sort of narrow it down. And I was just delighted the way the votes came in. They did, as you said, represent so many different fields of expertise, so many different historical eras. We've got, men and women, we've got all races and genders, and I was just delighted. The LGBTQ community is so thrilled that Andy Warhol is among the first 10, and it just worked. It's great. I think.
So go ahead and go through the list.
Okay.
You already mentioned Andy Warhol. Who else is on the list?
Well, George Benson. I love his music. Oh, I'll talk to. There's August Wilson. We'll just follow. That's the steps at the Strip District Terminal where it's going to be. But George Benson and Nellie Bly, a groundbreaking journalist that I confess a lot of people don't know, but she really broke ground for women.
Investigative reporting, actually, yes.
And then there's Andrew Carnegie and Rachel Carson and Roberto Clemente. We got the bridges, the sister bridges covered. That just happened. It wasn't the plan. Michael Keaton.
Yes.
And Fred Rogers, Jonas Salk, Andy Warhol, and August Wilson. Those are our 10.
Yes. So the majority of them are going to be obviously honored posthumously. But we're going to have some people here to represent them, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. We have sons of Roberto Clemente, Jonas Salk, Fred Rogers. We have August Wilson's wife.
Yes.
She's absolutely delightful, will be here. We have representatives of institutions, the Carnegie Library representing Andrew Carnegie, the Warhol Museum for Andy Warhol, and one of his nephews as well. And the Apollo Area Historical Society will be stepping up on behalf of Nellie Bly. She's from the Apollo area, and their museum there has an exhibit about her. George Benson is going to record. He is alive and kicking, but he can't travel.
Yes.
I can't fly.
Sure.
So he will be sending his comments in, and Michael Keaton will be here in person.
Yeah, that's going to be a treat.
I think so.
Yeah, and we were looking at, the way the construction's going to be, the stars and things like that. What is the status of the construction right now?
I haven't driven past the terminal in the past couple of days, but there shouldn't be anything yet to see there. The stars and the plaques that describe each person have been cast at Matthews International, and granite stones have come up from a quarry in Georgia. And right now, the stars and the plaques are being set into these stones, and then the big stones will be set into the sidewalk in front of the Strip District. And then, thanks to Highmark being our presenting sponsor, we're going to have a big public ceremony to unveil it and induct people.
Yeah. Well, and then anyone can come.
Oh,
to
absolutely.
watch.
Everyone.
Yeah.
We want people to come. This is going to be on a Monday.
Yes.
At 10:30 in the morning. We're going to close off that section of Smallman Street. Yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to look like. The only difference there is that the markers will be every other cement segment, not every segment.
Yeah.
But yes, we're going to have the River City Brass Band playing to create some festive. We're going to have balloons, and please, if it doesn't rain, it'll be great.
Well, we'll definitely be there, of course, and we thank you so much for coming and sharing an update, and we look forward to October 20th.
Well, thank you, Lisa, for this opportunity, and I hope I'll see you there.
All right, you're welcome. And I'll have my last word when we come back. Tolerance. According to Oxford, it's the ability or willingness to tolerate something. In particular, the existence of opinions or behavior that one does not necessarily agree with. As a country, we aren't there. The last week proves it. It starts with a willingness. We aren't there. It starts with acknowledging different opinions. We aren't there. It may mean agreeing to disagree and walk away. We aren't there. Tolerance. Can we get there now? Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Intersections.